What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Today is May 16, 2022. It is currently 12 p.m. EST, 9 a.m. PST. I'm going all around this time. 4 p.m. UTC and 7 p.m. Well, 6 minutes till 7 p.m. where I am. How's everybody doing today? I am Bengali. How are you? Welcome. SSK Wolf, Cold Cuts and Cheese, Cider Raid, yo. Our lovely producer. How's it going? Heartbeat now, clock tick. What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome to another SandStorm stream. We have an interesting schedule for today, one that you will be very happy about. Let's quickly go through what we have coming this week, and then I have a lovely guest to present to you guys. So this week, we have Kingdom of Sakaar with King of Crypto. He will be joining us very soon. Tomorrow, it is me, Game Dizzy. We're going to be doing another surprise, actually. We're going to be in the Game Maker. It's not a tutorial. It will be an interesting session for tomorrow. And then Wednesday, we have our Fox Vault coming in. This is going to be a virtual world centered around retail and entertainment. Interesting. Thursday, we have Bubblegum Kids coming in. And then, last but not least, we have Lady Pixie coming back to the show. But let's not let our lovely guest wait any longer today. I want to give a warm welcome to King of Crypto.
VMAE, everybody. Hopefully everyone in the metaverse having a wonderful start to the week.
What's going on, Ken? Welcome, man.
Hey, good.
How you doing?
Here. Appreciate you having me on, Game Dizzy. Everyone at SandStorm, thank you guys so much for the opportunity to get on here and be able to talk with the community and be able to talk a little bit about what I've done here with the Kingdom of Sakaar.
Yeah, King. I mean, we're so for those who are just tuning in, we're doing our very first kind of Milk the Builder, what the builders are building in the community, and we thought, one of the best candidates in the space is King of Crypto. He's a SandStorm ambassador, officially, unofficially. We haven't signed the paperwork for it because there is no paperwork. Yeah, I need to get on that, but along with that, he's an amazing person. With some amazing projects, and he's just an awesome guy to be around with. So I thought, having him come on board, showing you guys what he has to offer. But before we get started, King, before we talk about the Kingdom of Sakaar, let's talk about a little bit about your background. Who is King of Crypto? Without doxing yourself, but where did you come up from? What were your hobbies? How did you get into crypto, right? How did you get into Sandbox and so on and so forth? So maybe you can get started from age 5. No, I'm kidding.
At age 5, I was a young up-and-coming. No, I absolutely love being here, so I would love to elaborate a little bit. In the interest of time, though, like you said, I will try to, keep it a little bit paraphrased. But I am the King of Crypto. In real life, just so everyone knows, without doxing myself too much, my real name is Sean. But I have been in the crypto space for a little over 2 years now. Ooh, I know I gave up some secrets. Hey, at the end of the day, when you are building a project, you're going to have to dox yourself anyway. I've already have plenty of different platforms out there where people, if they really looked, could figure out my name. I have no problem. At the end of the day, we are working hard to build the game. So it's kind of something that you need to do in this space. But I started in the crypto space about 2 years ago. Funnily enough, it was actually from a friend who invested in a not so hot coin at the time and ended up actually losing a lot of their investment. But there's a lot of cryptos out there that did the opposite. And so I started getting into it just from his advice and looking into that coin. But it started the rabbit hole effect, if you will, where I started getting into looking more into how to do your own research and all the different coins out there. But once NFTs started getting popular and coming around, that really caught my attention because I have a very large gaming background. Been playing video games since Mario, back in Nintendo days, and a little bit before the Atari. So
Very, very cool, man. And how did you kind of get into, like, how did you hear about Sandbox? The Sandbox, I guess, is one
Ah,
of the I would say something that kind of interested you and have you start creating, right?
yeah. So when it came down to time, when I started getting really into NFTs and I want to start actually being an investor instead of just a bystander, if you will, looking and doing the research, it came down to what exactly metaverse did I want to invest in and start building in. And when I did all the research and the math, if you will, it came down to Decentraland or the Sandbox.
All right.
And Decentraland, it is a neat metaverse, but it is more like, in my opinion, more like a Facebook in that way of it's not as much about gaming. It's more about like meeting up, and there are a lot of creative tools to do a lot of things, which is neat. But the Sandbox is more actually built for gamers. And with the Game Maker software and the Vox Edit software, the possibilities are literally limitless, endless with what you can do. So when it came time to pick a metaverse to purchase land in for the first investment, after a long consideration, I picked the Sandbox. And after getting into the Sandbox, I fell in love with the Twitch streams, the community, and just the ease of use and everything that they're building here and the future of the project.
Yeah, yeah, man. I can definitely relate to that. As you know, I have a similar story where, you know, this whole thing kind of excited, and that's how we kind of met, right? We met through the whole Sandbox, the love, our passion for Sandbox. But that's awesome, man. So what? How long you been in Sandbox now? How long has it been?
Oh, so I purchased land last year. It was in June. That was the
Ooh.
one of, I believe one of, I think there's been multiple Binance land sales. So I
Mm-hmm.
purchased a property next to the Binance estate. When it came time, at first it was just an investment. I just thought of it as, when you read the Git book for the Sandbox, they have plans to monetize land for being able to rent it, monetizing for your portals, since there'll be portals on the property,
All right.
as well as possible advertising. So I really just at first purchased it just for that investment, but say about 6 months later, or maybe a little less than that, in November, I started really getting into the Twitch streams and seeing the capabilities of the Game Maker and Vox Edit software. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what kind of began the journey into, okay, we own land. Why don't we see what all is involved in building an actual gaming experience on that land? So that began the rabbit hole effect of falling in love with the community and the Twitch streams to learn. Cyber Dragon with his YouTube videos. I can't tell you how many hundreds of hours I've watched those.
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh yeah.
yeah. I don't think there's a soul in Sandbox community right now that says, they haven't watched either a Panda Pops tutorial or a Cyber Dragon tutorial, and even Andy Ritchie at that point, right? So
Oh yes.
big shout out to those, I would say, pioneers of the space, kind of give us direction, right?
Oh, very much so. Very much. If it wasn't for Andy Ritchie, Codazine Monochrome, Cyber Dragon, and Panda Pops, I probably wouldn't have half the knowledge that I have. Maybe even less. Big
Yeah,
shout out for
yeah,
those people.
yeah, definitely. So you've been in the space so you bought the land last year, right? And then you were kind of watching the streams, and then how long till you decided you wanted to do a project, and how
Ah,
long have you been working on it? Right?
so it was a funny story actually. So at first, when I started getting into the Game Maker software, I started hearing about the game jams, and the first one that I had been, working the software for a little while and had been released was the Sandplay Game Jam for round 21. So and I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe it was about a week you had to build an experience for that game jam. So I built
Mm-hmm.
one called Honeyball, which was a lot of fun. That was my first actual experience with different quests and different mechanics. But with that experience, that was my very early days in the Game Maker. So I actually hadn't done much work in Vox Edit. So every asset in that experience was just going into the Sandbox marketplace and adding, you can add other people's
Right.
published assets. So that game was built complete with others' assets. But then the next game jam, I think it was pretty much right after that game jam ended, was the Alpha 2 game jam to try to get your experience into the Alpha 2. And the requirement was to use only your own assets that you've made assets that you own, that you've purchased, or sandbox basic assets. So Sakaar at that point was an 8-day build because I was a little late to the getting started in that game jam. There's about 8 days left before it ended. And version 1 was just 8 days of me grinding it out and trying to come up with a game as quick as I could for the game jam. Not much thought, honestly, put into the storyline, where it would go. Just a real quick, hey, let's get something for a game jam going.
Yeah.
And then after that, and I won't elaborate too much because there's a long story if I keep going, but
no, you go ahead, man. It's your show.
I appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, and I won't take up too much, at least before with this question, but after that, after the game, you submit for a game jam, you have to wait until after the judging to be able to edit it again so that you don't get disqualified.
Right.
So I think it was about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, was the lag time there. Pretty quick, honestly, for the amount of entries they got. Excuse me. But in that time, Joseph, the Vision X, streaming on the official Sandbox account, or actually, I believe that's when he did his own stream, I forget, when at that time, the GMAE show. He has since been playing others' experiences to test them out and give user feedback. Mm-hmm. So I asked him if he could play Sakaar, and he did, and I was very, very excited at that point. I had never built a game that someone else had really played, and someone that really had knowledge in the software could critique and kind of give me direction and helpful feedback. And so from that, honestly, a passion was born. I was like, you know what? This was at first just something I was experimenting with to try out the softwares. Mm-hmm. Then it became, okay, let's push that a little bit further for the game jams. But then after having someone else play it, and especially live, so I could kind of see how they were feeling and listen to their reactions, the passion was inflamed, if you will. And so I kept building, and I wanted to expand. And me and the wife, we sat down after that before I started building again, and we said, hey, let's spend a couple of days here, a lot of time, really coming up with a storyline and the characters and the direction for the game.
Yeah. Shout out to the Queen of Crypto as well. I know she is supporting you a ton, just like a lot of our partners.
Oh, yes, she's the most hardworking.
Big props to them.
I appreciate her in every way. So thank you very much.
Before we go into a little bit of the Kingdom of Sakaar, King of Crypto, I see you have a bunch of Pokemon cards and Funko Pops behind you. Are you a big collector?
I am. I'm a very large collector of both Pokemon cards, Funko Pops. I mean, honestly, you name it. I'm a big I'm trying to think of the right word. I'm a mega fan, if you will, for a lot of different franchises. Quick shout out to like Lord of the Rings, Final Fantasy, obviously Pokemon, things from my childhood and that have stuck with me my entire life and always will. I'm a very large gamer and movie buff, and you will see that a lot in the games that I build.
Slater8 says Warhammer. Warhammer was one of those things when I was young. I saw kind of the older kids play it. And I was always curious because like they made their own like paintings and they're all like, it was cool. And I never really got into it, but I always wanted to.
I'm the same way. I got in a little bit with some buddies that played. But yes, I wasn't as in like the D&D that we do now. One of those things where, a little bit here and there, but definitely something we have to retouch back on, get into a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And you also stream as well, right, King? You also have parties, you have streams.
Yes, the Twitch streams are multifaceted. Sometimes we're working in Vox Edit, sometimes the Game Maker. But my favorite and the thing we have the most fun with is the community building aspects. We do the metaverse games, meetups, and social hubs. And we're going to have another one here in just, I'm going to see if I can get it this weekend. Otherwise, we're going to set up for next weekend. Because with the launch of the game, that got pushed back a little bit more than I would have liked.
Yeah. And then I know you had some issues publishing that, but alrighty. So, Kingdom of Sakaar. Tell us about it. The floor is yours, King of Crypto.
I would love to.
Would you like me to share your screen, or
yes,
you want to? All right, hold on.
It's actually what I'll do too is I have
Maybe you'll kind of do an overview of what Kingdom of Sakaar is before you get started.
Yes, and in fact, I have a video. I'll have that play so it's a little bit easier too.
Oh, awesome. Hold on. Let me cut out the music real quick.
There's no music for the video, so you're good to go.
No, for me. There you go.
Oh, gotcha. Hold on one second. All right. So the Kingdom of Sakaar. What the Kingdom of Sakaar is it's a fantasy adventure role-playing game. The main genre that the game was built with the functional, or what it's supposed to be and will be in the long run, is more of an MMO, massively multiplayer online, and maybe not massively because we do have server limits in experiences, but a dungeon raid type of experience. Now, currently, with the functionalities that we have with the sandbox and the game maker softwares, which are very many and quite well, there's a lot of functionalities, a lot of things that are already out and available. But over time, as you know, more and more updates are getting pushed out, giving us more and more options, different things to do. Again, in the long run, it'll be a dungeon raid experience. We want to team up with possibly 3 to 4, perhaps more. We'll see with the functionalities that get put into place, how many and how easy that is. But currently, you'll be able to find the arena underground. And that's what will turn into, right now it's an arena, so a wave-based survival. But that will turn into the actual dungeon that you'll want to team up with players to be able to defeat increasingly difficult waves of enemies and boss waves as well. Now, with the Kingdom of Sakaar, it's a free-to-play game. Anyone can jump on in the drafts gallery, have some fun with it. But there's also a reward system that we are currently launching. We have the Sakaarian crafting material NFTs, and that way, if people, anyone who is able to play the game, and right now the first mission we have launched with the release is the collecting of 40 fun ducks throughout the level. So if you can find 40 of them, take a screenshot, send it to me in DM on Discord, and one Sakaarian crafting material NFT will be sent out to your wallet. If you're able to complete the dungeon, or I'm sorry, the arena, it's the same thing. Very difficult at first, but if you progress through the game, you will find treasure chests, and they have different Sakaarian armor and weapons and shields to help power up your player to be able to survive the ever-increasing waves of the arena. But again, if you can survive the arena, again, send a screenshot in to me on DM on Discord, and we'll send you out a Sakaarian crafting material NFT. They have their own ecosystem to where they're their own reward system to where once the UGC marketplace, a user-generated content marketplace, the sandbox launches, we will mint our Sakaarian craft or the sandbox assets, such as the Sakaarian armor, weapons, what have you, so that players that own the different crafting material NFTs will be able to, it's like a bartering type system, if you will, have 5 of this type, 4 of that type, what have you, and be able to redeem it for a sandbox asset for Sakaar. That
Sounds
and we also, there's a lot to it, and I love it. I have the website currently being built, so there's a one-stop landing page for everyone. But yeah, I won't.
And is this going to be on one parcel of land right now, or do you only have one? Yeah.
Thank you. I was about to say, in the interest of time, I'm trying not to elaborate too much. There's a long.
Yeah. Go ahead, man. We have 40 minutes.
I appreciate it. So at the Kingdom of Sakaar, I'm sorry. What was your question? One more time. I apologize.
Is it going to be on a 1x1 land?
Yes. So originally, the game was built on a 1x1 because it was an 8-day build. But from me being in the community as much and in the Twitch streams, learning with Alex Kamasaze and Joseph, the Vision X, and being there for their, it's not technically an AMA stream, but they do somewhat turn into those where people ask questions and you're able to get a lot of up-to-date information on the softwares. Currently, if you were to build on a 2x2, a 3x3, if you were to build an experience such as this with a lot of different quests, a lot of moving parts, it would be very taxing on computer systems.
Of course.
There were a few different things with a couple of the alphas for different experiences that people with lower NPCs were having issues with loading and crashing. So for optimization, what we're going to do with Sakaar is we're going to release it in episodes 1 through 5. Each episode highlighting the different races. There are 5 races in Sakaar, and each will be a progression to the story. There will always be one. For now, it'll be this one with the arena. And then there will be one created solely as the dungeon experience itself. But for optimization and to be able to make sure that we can provide enough content in each level and also not tax systems, we are going to, yes, release it on 1x1s until at least episode 5, and then like I said, we have
Right.
the dungeon experience, and we're creating a social hub as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is you built all this by yourself, right? I mean, I know a lot of the some of the assets are obviously sandbox assets, but there's assets in there that you built yourself, but the whole experience is pretty much done by you, right?
Yes, the entire experience was coded by me. When it comes to the assets, let me actually put on another video real quick. Hold on 1 second. All the assets in this experience are either the sandbox basic assets, assets that I've created in the Vox-Edit software, or assets that I own. There are a few that have been created by the community, and we're adding more. Right now, there is currently at least one of Maxi Max's. I apologize. There's a few more. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I should have this written down. And then we have a couple that I have purchased through the Sandbox Marketplace
Mm-hmm.
that are in there as well from various creators in the community. But when it comes to the goblins, much of the terrain or fauna of the level, the design aspects, I've created most of those myself. Now, when you play Sakaar, you'll realize the first level, if you will, there's 3 levels segmenting
Mm-hmm.
the one by one. The first level being that I started building in the early days before I got really good with the Vox-Edit software. You'll see the percentage of the sandbox assets, basic assets, being a little bit more on the first level. And then as you go down in the second level, there's say maybe 10, maybe 15% the sandbox basic assets. So once you get into the Goblin homeworld, that's pretty much all hand done original assets that you'll find down there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, it all. I haven't seen these ones specifically. I mean, I saw you doing some sneak peeks of them, but these look awesome, and they have their kind of own style. So this is kind of like your passion project, and you're looking to obviously grow it and expand, and you're really invested in it. And then people love the idea of, and I love the logo and everything too. Um, so are you looking to eventually go and try to like apply for the Game Maker Fund? Where do you see kind of Kingdom of Sakaar going? Obviously, we're limited to the limitations of the game maker and such. And I know that those will work out eventually. What's kind of like the long term vision for Kingdom of Sakaar?
I'm glad you asked because that's actually exactly it. As you said, the Game Makers Fund was what originally drew me into really getting into the softwares. Again, I wanted to experiment, figure out, what the capabilities were and how easy they were to use. And once I figured out that, yeah, the abilities and things you can do are limitless, and that they're actually very user friendly and easy to learn, I decided I wanted to build an experience to try to get into the Game Makers Fund because I love the sandbox. I want to be here in the community no matter what. So who can help facilitate your success more than the sandbox itself when you're building in their metaverse?
Yeah.
The Kingdom of Sakaar has its own economy and its own things to keep growing. So despite even if the Game Makers Fund had to get closed down or entries, something like that for an amount of time, it has its own structure to it. But I would very much, yes, love to get into the Game Makers Fund into the future.
Yeah, I mean that would be a huge win, I think, for you and the community as well, because we want to see builders projects grow, and that's why we're trying to get the word out. Starting with you, and we're going to be doing this with other builders too every now and then. Um, but yeah, man, this is looking crazy. And are you trying to look into? Is there going to be any? And you don't have to answer this if you don't really know right now, but is there going to be like a gated system where you're saying, hey, you need to have like my pass to get in, or is it going to be open to everybody? It's going to be obviously if you get into the game maker fund, I think you'll have like a play to earn type mechanic. Obviously, these are things coming up next year, but yeah, you can mention a little about that. What your kind of long term vision there is.
Yes. So the Kingdom of Sakaar has its own. It's free to play, but it also has its own reward system. And then, excuse me, next month we put the battle pass system goes live. What that is it's an ability to be able to reap more benefits, or should I say, gain benefits for the
Mm-hmm.
game and in the community, the Kingdom of Sakaar, as well as having the ability to gain more rewards for the time you invest while playing the game. Because it's a free to play game, anyone can jump in and have some fun. But and again, you don't have to have the pass or anything to be able to gain rewards. The crafting material NFTs that you can save up and then eventually be redeemed for. Actually, there's a lot of different things that you can redeem them for. But with the battle pass, you'll also be able to gain them quicker. I guess the easiest way to say it, which any true gamer knows that, hey, if there's a way for me to be able to get the same thing but save time and get more of them, I'm a huge gamer. I come from my playing World of Warcraft, Diablo background, dungeon crawlers and grinding. And so this is my passion project. When it came time to make a game, I wanted to make something that I love, something that kept fueling me to keep going back and building it. Sakaar is never going to be finished up until obviously we wrap up with the 5th episode and the dungeon and the social hub. It will still constantly be updated, but the direction that I'm going with this game is, instead of doing like a lot of the other studios are in this space, working for months and months to create a finished product before they release it. My thought was, months ago when we really started brainstorming how we're going to do this, is the sandbox is in alpha.
Right.
There's updates coming all the time. What is the point of trying to make something that's finished in an unfinished software? So my thought was, you know what? I played Fortnite a lot when Fortnite first came out.
Yeah, me too.
A lot of people don't know that, it wasn't originally meant to be a battle royale. It actually was Save the World at first. And me and my buddy would play that. And what that was it was a zombie wave type game where you would create the level with different walls, different traps, and waves of zombies would come. You would try to survive. You had your guns, you're shooting. I love first person shooters, but it was very survival from zombies oriented. Right. And I don't even know what spurred their idea.
It was almost like a tower defense game.
It was, yes, and it was very fun. We played, me and my buddy. I had other buddies too, but I had one buddy in particular we play all the time, and it was a lot of fun. And then they came out with the battle royale, and being that we had played first person shooters in the past, we're like, hey, let's check this out. We fell in love with it, just like most people did. And if everyone knows the story of Fortnite, they went in that direction because they started selling their battle passes and their skins and a whole slew of things into the future. And sales of their battle pass and skins and whatnot fueled development and made it so that the game kept getting bigger and better, more content and more ability to hire on more people to be able to speed up development. And so being that the sandbox is in alpha, I thought, well, again, why should we wait? Especially because I have been one manning this up until this point for the most part. Why should we wait until a finished product? I was like, no, I'm going to work tirelessly for a good amount of time. And I think it's about 4.5 months now. I haven't showed really anyone the back end. As you said earlier, I do Twitch stream, and I've Twitch streamed a lot on building in Vox Edit and the Game Maker, but I've never Twitch streamed the building of Sakaar because it was more of I wanted to get it to this point before people really saw it. So now that it's out, people can play it. Again, there's a reward system. The battle pass system will go live here next month, so people can purchase that if they like for additional rewards and benefits. And that will also then, sales from that will help fuel the growth of the game. And we're going to continually update and improve and keep adding more. Currently, again, this is a 1x1. I segmented it into 3 parts. The third part, the very bottom, is completely open right now for updates and expansion. And the reason for that is we're very community driven. So I want people, we're finding a way through the battle pass to do like a DAO type situation to see how people want the game to go, and not overall because there is a base plan, but at least the specifics. I would like to see this quest. I would like to see more of this. I would like to that. So
now, I'm a big believer in sorry to cut you off. I'm a big believer in releasing and building in public when it comes to like personal projects, because as these tools are growing, you can never have the perfect version, right? And releasing, and this is kind of one of the analysis paralysis that people have, especially entrepreneurs, if they should release or they shouldn't release, right? If they should perfect this one area, and it always kills every entrepreneur and every startup because they wait, and then they just never get to releasing. Versus you release it, people complain about your product, and this goes for every product, right? Um, People release it, you have issues, you deal with the issues, you re-release until you're getting those feedback, and I like that you're going that route about this.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that too, because I feel the exact same way. Because we did actually have the publishing issue on launch day last Saturday, it actually created a blessing in disguise. I was able to get it figured out by the next day. Had to put in quite a few hours of work because I wanted to get it out and release as quick as possible since there was that snafu. But once we got it released, I contacted some of the members of the community that for the bug testing aspect that were ready to go and was able to get them going on it. And so I think it's about 12 hours now, or maybe almost 16 hours about. Yeah, for what time it is now. I've had multiple people running through the game, and there's been very small things, mostly quality of life. There was a couple of things like add a respawn point or a checkpoint here for respawn, a little bit bigger than quality of life. Still technically quality of life, but I have been working with those gameplay testers throughout the night and this morning, just taking care of all the small things to perfect just quality of life and make sure there's no issues. Like you said, though, there are going to be issues. That's how it is when it comes to this stuff. There could be little bugs, character getting stuck. When it comes to the experiences that are like this non-social hub, I forget the exact name to call them. There is no slash respawn, unfortunately. So trying to work very hard to make sure that players don't get stuck. But at the end of the day, like I said, small things like that will happen. If anyone has any issues, please reach out to me on Discord. I am very proactive, so there's a good chance that when you message me, I'll get on top of it within 5 to 10 minutes. And depending on, if it takes a little bit of time, half hour to maybe get it fixed at max, I will republish it right away and then message you back. But we will constantly keep growing. Right now, it's at version what I call 2.0, since the first release, the 8-day build, was very early on. Yes, how many plots is it? This is a 1x1 currently. But every time we update a major update, which will be monthly, it'll be we'll add a 0.1, so it'll be 2.1 next, 2.2, so on and so forth, so people can see what version they're on, kind of see what the progression, and I will keep details about the additions in the new versions in the Discord and then on the website once that's fully built.
Very cool, man. Very cool. And yeah, so the question was, how many plots? So this is currently a 1x1, as King of Crypto explained, and he's gonna have seasons, so he's gonna have episodes, which I'm excited. And the funny, that's one of the things from Fortnite, right? Where when the new season came, you couldn't really play the old season, which was kind of exciting because you didn't want to miss out that season. Because if you miss one, right, you don't know what two's gonna be like, and you can't really go back to one. So it's always good to kind of override that existing experience. So that's kind of cool.
Exactly. I feel the exact same way.
Yeah, and if you have your Twitter and Discord,
yes,
Andy, let me drop that in the chat real quick. I'll drop your message. But guys, make sure you guys are following King of Crypto on Twitter, and he's getting his Discord over as well. And Kingdom of Sakaar doesn't have a Twitter right now, does it?
No, so it's just about to launch its own Twitter. At first, the biggest thing was getting the base game launched. We have been growing our socials in terms of, obviously right now the King of Crypto on Twitter, but then the Discord as well, and building the website. We have multiple people that are helping on multiple ends. To name a few, I don't want to make anyone feel awkward. I didn't reach out too much, but we have Sabataiga. He is a fabulous artist. He's the one who made the graphics for the battle passes. There are 4 different battle passes, and they're original handmade. He did a fantastic job with those, as well as some of the lettering for the Kingdom of Sakaar and some different things he's working on, as well as T-Sticks.
Who'd you say it was that did it? Who'd you say that was?
Sabataiga, maker of the
Sabataiga. Oh, very cool. Very cool. So it seems like you're kind of getting a team involved. Oh, these look awesome.
Yes, these are the battle passes. What is this one? This one is silver.
Oh, very nice. Very
See,
nice.
he handmade that where it says Sakaar there for the lettering, calligraphy. You know, he had his own text and handmade that so that it's 100% authentic, 100% original. I absolutely love it. I fell in love with it. We worked together for the design aspects from start to the finish, and I am just absolutely blown away from his skill and how it turned out.
Very nice. Very nice.
When it comes to this game, The Kingdom of Sakaar 2, just before I forget, I want to say this earlier. I'm really glad you said something that brought this to my mind, that now that we have it released, and one of the biggest reasons I want to have it released is because now, like you said, since we Twitch stream, it'd be nice to be able to be there with the community while we're building it. And so this will be very community driven, and it'll be a lot of fun to be able to actually work with people and communicate while we're building this, instead of, you know, me just like working on the side and only giving little info blasts here and there. So I can't wait.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty excited. So the passes, if you can go back to passes real quick, is that available for purchase right now?
So how
Is
the
it
passes
like,
are going to work?
yeah,
I love the community, and I love. I've been in this space for a long time, and when it comes to NFTs, I don't buy any NFTs unless they have utility. Granted that there are a couple that are just really cool looking. I even see utility in some NFTs for, I think they call it PFP, where you just really just use it for the avatar for like your Twitter and
right.
whatnot as your persona. So that is still utility in my mind. But I like the fact of utility in the way of being able to get into certain groups. Now, granted, we're a community. We don't have any bars, but there is certain people that like to do, or how to become more invested, play the game more. And so I want those people to be rewarded. And again, to be able to, how do you say it, fuel development and keep growing into the future. There are a lot of benefits for holders of the Battle Pass and lots of additional rewards you will gain. But it also, all sales will go to the development of the game and fueling the hiring of more people, more artists, more asset creators, and helping myself to maybe get another game designer or two in here to take a little bit off my plate so I can keep up with everything else. But right now, when it comes to the Battle Pass, we have so when it comes to the economy of the game, this was a long time coming. We've been spending 4 months hashing out the details, doing the math. There's a lot to it to be able to fuel the economy. If it was very simplistic, it would be very hard to make something that has room for growth into the future and has a solid plan. So we have, again, the crafting materials reward system that then ties into the Battle Pass system. But there's also, again, it's completely free to play. Anyone can just come have some fun. But the Battle Pass themselves have their own tiers. There's 4 different levels, all having different rewards. A little bit of a different price point going up for each. I wanted to make sure that there was a very, how do you say it, not cheap, but a very inexpensive entry level Battle Pass. And then, but also one that has the most benefits all the way up, if people would like, to make it so that I always like the pre-release, whitelist, things like that. Again, the Battle Pass system, or the launch, goes live next month, June 15th. But we will start pre-sale. We're going to do 25% of the passes on sale for 30% off. Starting after the stream here today, I'll list them, and they will be the pre-sale that until the official launch on the 15th.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Very excited. So if you have the Battle Pass, so they need in order to get the rewards that they prove to you in the game, they need to have the Battle Pass, correct?
Yes and no. Correctly? So it's a free-to-play game right now, and I have it in the Discord, or at least I'm about to post for the first month's challenges. There was that snafu with the publishing on Saturday, or what I had it up there already. Anyone can go in and play the game, and if they complete the first mission of the game, which is collecting the 40 fun ducks throughout the level, then they just send me a screenshot of their inventory showing the 40 fun ducks or more. There are more. And they will get sent a Sakarian crafting material NFT that, again, if you save up enough of them, you do this every month, then you will be able to redeem for different rewards. But again, that's free. You don't need to own the Battle Pass for that. And then you'll also get another one for victory in the arena every month. So that's, again, the free to play. You'll be able to earn rewards just for playing the game with that system. But then again, if you own the Battle Pass, the amount of materials, crafting materials that you get when you do these missions and challenges and victory in the arena doubles or more, depending on the pass that you own. And there are a slew of other benefits as well. Not to mention, and for the sake of time, I'll get the info blast going and in the Discord, and the website again is currently being built. That should be built and finished within the next 2 weeks, just as a one-stop source of information for everything. But there's also a play to earn system that I have, how do you say it, been able to come up with, that even though the sandbox is still an alpha and we're waiting on the official play to earn side from the sandbox, I was able to find a way and come up with a structure for this to be play to earn, so that once we're at 75% of the battle passes for the first season sold, the first season is going for 4 months, then all holders of the battle pass will be able to, if they completed the missions throughout the season, so again, monthly, there'll be 4 different, one for each month, challenges you can complete for rewards. Once we're at 75% sold, the play to earn portion initiates as well, to where you can earn sand for completing those missions every month as well. So not just the crafting material NFTs, but you'll be sent sand as well for every time you complete those missions or challenges, as well as right now we also have a monthly pool of sand. So if you complete those challenges, you get 1 ticket to be entered into the I don't want to say raffle, but we'll roll, and one person, or there'll be multiple people that win each month. But you'll be able to have a chance to win sand as well, just for playing the game. And you don't even have to own the battle pass. But again, if you own the battle pass, you get more entries, more chances, and more ability to do so.
That sounds awesome, bro. I'm super excited. I want to actually Steel Electronics is like, shut up and take my crypto. Can you cycle through the different designs of the passes? Because I feel like they're not alone. They have a good utility. A great utility, but I like the designs, and maybe it's nice to kind of cycle through the different versions of it.
Cyber Taiga is a fantastic artist. Again, I have to give a shout out to T6JP and Kenshin, who have done a lot of work. Like Kenshin, T6, I'm sorry, did the Sakaar logo. Beautiful work on that. Kenshin's helped so much with different images for all the things we do. But again, Cyber Taiga, he's the artist for the passes. This is the the bronze battle pass. As you see, each one has a different color to it, a little bit of a different design aspect. But
very nice.
I absolutely love it. Again, we worked from start to finish. There was many different steps to the design process, figuring out what direction we wanted to go, retoolings, what have you. Although I gotta say, again, Cyber Taiga is very skilled at this, and through both of us communicating, they turned out, I believe, personally, that they look fantastic. Currently, they are a 2D, but they also are done in a GIF format. So as you can see, hold on, let's not skip ahead. Silver next. They have the bleeding effect as well, which I absolutely love.
Yeah,
again, they're a battle.
It almost looks like a razor. It almost looks like a razor.
Yes, which I really like. To be honest with you, that was actually inadvertent. We were discussing the ticket look, and obviously, tickets a lot of times will have those, we rip off because they're on the roll,
right?
Those little, what do you call it? Perforated
perforated at corners, yeah.
Yep. But honestly, like you said, they look kind of like almost like a razor. So being that I like that and that effect, when we start making them 3D, I think we might actually kind of make them like that, where they're more like pieces of metal, kind of like dog tags, but like little razors with the edges.
Very nice. Very nice. Let's look at the goat and the next ones. I know they're kind of similar, but they all look very unique, obviously.
Yes, again, for the entry level, we have the bronze, and then if you'd like, you can move on, or I wouldn't even say move on, because you can purchase as many as you like, and own as many as you like. You'll reap rewards for having each. Each has different rewards, and if you own a bronze and then a platinum, let's say, you get the rewards for both, no matter what. But the different tiers have, like you said, different looks, different feels, but also different benefits and things that they come with. Again, they have descriptions. It elaborates pretty well, I feel like. But even though that does have a good overview of everything that you get with it and what you can use it for. Let me see on here. We do have it linked to the website. But again, the website's currently under development. It's very bare bones at the moment. So we want to make sure that it has the roadmap and all information, and a one-stop shop. I know guaranteed people will be like, where do I send in the screenshots, what have you? So we're gonna have a one resource to make it easy for everyone.
Awesome, man. So King, is there anything you want to show in the game maker? Do you want me to hide the screen for a second, or
Yeah. So, how much time do we have left?
we
Ooh,
still
not
got
much.
like 15, 20 minutes? Yeah.
All right. So this is an overview. This is the behind the scenes dev aspect of building a game in the sandbox game maker. As an overview, Kingdom of Sakaar, I suppose I can back up, was, I should say, and still is segmented into 3 parts. As you can see the bottom here, this is actually a leftover Easter egg from the original 8-day build. I was going to put a little, we're very much in the community, like having fun with everybody. So original was like, let's put a little place to display my NFTs and where we can all party. And now, because we spent so much time building the first and second portions, which I could erase a wall real quick, I suppose, to show that a little better. I figured I'd leave this in actually, just because, at least for now, because we're about to start expanding the third portion. But if you're able to go into the cave system, you'll find a secret room, which will be able to drop you in. This is actually a pool, but so that you can view the room that we have left to expand and build the rest of episode 2. Now, again, when it comes to, saved. All right. But I hit the wrong one. And when it comes to game maker, you got to be careful. You don't want to do anything that causes any issues. When an experience gets to this large too, it takes a second to save. The saving used to go very quickly. But in an overview, again, you'll start. You'll start right here in the game. When you come into the kingdom, just like unless you read a lot of the background of the game, just like any game, you really don't know what the game's about. So when you come in, you're gated to this area only. You'll have to talk to this guy. There's a lot of others to talk to, but he'll propose the instigating event. Let's put it like that to not do too many spoilers.
Yeah, don't give too many spoilers.
Exactly. Yeah. The instigating event. Once you talk to him and figure out what's going on, you'll be able to gain access to here. As you can see, again, this is the back end dev. So you'll see invisible walls, things you won't see in the game.
So it's like almost like a small puzzles in the game as well, kind of like an escape room to get to the next section.
I'm glad you said that, because anyone who plays this, please know that there are going to be some times where you will have direction the whole time. And and you don't even have to read through a bunch of text prompts to figure out what that direction is. Like, there will be quests that the description will be enough to be like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to go through here and or find this person. And there'll be clear indicators. Sometimes very clear indicators, because the game software allows us to put things above people's heads, things that you can see from a great distance to really give you direction. But I don't feel like games like that are fun if it was hand holding the entire time.
Right.
So instead of just being like, hey, why don't you play a game where you go from A to B to C? I mean, that's not as much fun.
Yeah.
You'll have plenty of direction. You'll know where to go. There'll be roadblocks if you're not supposed to go to certain places too quickly, what have you. So it's very easy to follow. But like you said, it is that there's very much so escape room vibes where you'll be like, okay, so now that I've completed here, yeah, I guess I'll go here next. And yes, like I said, there's indicators that give you that idea. As you progress through the game, you'll be able to find, I guess the way to say it, different equipment. Look out for treasure chests. First one you'll get here is the sword from Swordmaster Nervex, and then you'll move on through the level. I guess, like I said, not to do too many spoilers, but you'll want to sometimes venture off, because again, I love World of Warcraft, Diablo, Final Fantasy growing up. So you'll see a lot of those type of vibes in this game. And just like in Final Fantasy, you don't always want to go on the beaten path. Sometimes you're going to want to venture off into this little nook and cranny, because there might be a powerful piece of gear or equipment or something that's going to help you in your travels or throughout the game there.
Mm-hmm.
But as you progress,
I know you're working on it's like an MMO. Do you see some kind of maybe friendly competition with the folks at Sandhelm?
Well, no, not really. I mean, to be honest with you, their project is very much so, it seems like, and I haven't, I can't sit there and say that I've went through every single thing to know 1000% what the long-term roadmap is there. Excuse me. But I love their project. In fact, they were one of the first projects in the space that I actually started getting into. And actually, their social hub, I forget exactly what the event was, but going into an event with their social hub was actually the first event here in the space I'd ever gone into. And again, I have a love for medieval. We go to Renaissance Festival every year. I've always played those type of games and movies. That's why, again, I fell in love with the Sandhelm project. But, and again, I'm not 1,000% sure on what their long-term roadmap is. But
Right.
again, Sakaar is more of an ever-evolving game, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much so, just like, again, I don't want to say like Fortnite, or it's not an exact clone by any means,
Right.
but
Of course not.
at least just to sum things up and make it easy for people to
It's
understand. Yeah, it's going to continuously grow and evolve. And so I can't exactly tell. We have a baseline, exactly what we have for the story into the future, where it's going, how we're going to do it. But very much so, if the community, what I've learned from building in this space is I'm not a mastermind of everything. Through the community and talking and seeing what people love, we've been able to form new ideas and new directions that we would have never thought of otherwise. And it's
yeah.
turned everything out to be so much better in the long run.
Yeah, the community is definitely so supportive, and there, I think everybody that's in the community already knows this, right? Everybody's supporting each other. They're very involved, and everybody's so talented in different ways. Like it's just amazing, and I'm really honored, to meet you guys and be part of this community as well. And and I think we're all doing our best to kind of pitch in wherever we can. And I know you are doing that as well with with various gifts, with various events, and let alone have your own projects and your Twitch streams where you're showing off on how to do some tutorials of yourself as well. Um,
Multifaceted these days, right? In this space, you got to be
yeah,
multifaceted.
yeah, definitely, man. Anything else you want to go over?
So just that, again, at the beginning of the game, let me, or throughout the game, everyone, let me know if there are any small bugs, tweaks, quality of life updates. Easiest way to get in contact with me is through the Discord. I am on Twitter, but Discord is more of a, I don't know how to say, it's an easier way to communicate, if you will. So jump into the Discord. I'm going to try to leave my DMs on as long as possible because it is an easy way for people to communicate. As we all know in this space, there are a lot of, some of the DMs aren't the most fun. So I'm going to try to wait as long as possible before we turn those off. But yes, just let me know if there's anything. We are very proactive at getting to any bugs and fixing them. Currently, again, the first level of the map is more so for storyline, a lot to do, and collecting different gear and equipment to build strengthen your character. But then once you get down to the Goblin homeworld, you'll see more about the goblins, how they live. They're people just like me and you. And try your hand at the arena. It's not the easiest. So I wish everyone luck because you're going to need it. And I would definitely, like I said, have some of the equipment ready to go before you enter. Oh, and one thing I would like to mention, we do have Andy Rich down here to warn you. And I'm going to even think to maybe put in another warning system. But once you enter the arena, that is the only thing in the game that is win or lose, make it or break it. Once you walk through that gate, you better win or you're gonna lose.
Awesome, man.
It's victory.
Awesome. I'm definitely excited. Go West is already playing it. He already found the bug, reporting it in the Discord.
Perfect.
King, thank you so much, man. It's definitely an honor to have you on the show, and we'll definitely expect you to come as you're progressing your project. And, I'll definitely be playing it as soon as I get some free time. As you guys know, we are a little bit busy over these few weeks, but I will definitely get a chance to hopefully play it this weekend or even this week. Thank you for showing off what you got, man. Appreciate you coming to the show today, and it's definitely an honor.
Are you kidding me? It's an absolute honor here. Thank you so much. I just want to say thank you, Game Dizzy. Thank you, Slater Aid, the team at SandStorm. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate you guys having me on here. We'll talk about this. A lot of hard work and a lot of time I put in. So, and again, it would be an honor. You just let me know. I would love to come back on anytime.
Yeah, definitely, man. I just want to kind of drop off your Twitch handle as well. It's going to be, I'm trying to find it real quick, King.
Again, shout out to Oscom. I almost scratched it there. Appreciate you, Oscom.
Oscom. Give me 1 second. All right, I got your Twitch handle right now. There you go. Let me post that in, guys. Make sure you follow King of Crypto if you haven't. He actually just streams a lot. Do you have a schedule? It's kind of random these days.
It
all the
was
work
a
that you're
lot.
doing?
Yes, again, I had some in real life things going on with my family and then my son. So that kept me a little busy. So now we're about to get back on. Now that those things are in the green, going well. About to get more on a regular schedule. I will have that posted on my Twitch. The schedule, I believe, is what they call it. So people can go in there and figure and see exactly when that is. But we'll try to make sure to stream at least 3 days a week, possibly 4 going forward.
Awesome, man. Awesome. That sounds so exciting. I can't wait to see this project come to, more fruition, as it's kind of still in the early phases. But speaking of games, King of Crypto, who's your king of games? Your first king of games?
A good thing you said that, and I'm glad you mentioned that during the stream the other night, that yes, we have forgot to put a Game Dizzy statue in because he is in fact the first ever winner of the Metaverse Games. So I'm glad you said that. I didn't want to put in something that was half done or didn't look the best. So we want to make sure that when Game Dizzy gets his statue put in, which is very soon, that it is immaculate looking. It's going to be right on the top, possibly the top. If I have to redo a little bit in front of the castle, we will. But I thought putting it on top of the castle, right, so that everyone sees it, would look really nice. I love the crowd. I just saw that. So again, everybody, Game Dizzy, first ever winner of the first ever Metaverse Games. Come join us for the next and every one into the future, because the winner always gets put into the game itself.
Oh yeah, you're still gonna keep that going on, right? So
Yes,
the
we
more
will.
people winning, I think it's like a monthly thing or something you're gonna be doing,
Yep.
right?
We're gonna have every month, possibly every 2 weeks, like a mini, every two, or I say one big one every month, but then every month as well in mini games. And currently, Lula Love was a winner of one of them, so she's the queen. She actually, we got in
Queen.
there as Queen Lula Love of the Elves. And then C-Box, we're putting him in. He was the first winner of the Metaverse mini game. So, but Game Dizzy being the first, he gets the
Let's
biggest. He gets the
go.
big biggest thing.
The reason why I brought it up, the reason why I brought one, obviously I want a very cool bear in their statue. So just so I can just look at it. But two, we got something cool coming up for tomorrow, King, and I think you'll really like this. We have a show coming up, and this is kind of like alpha news, right? We have a show coming up, and this is gonna be tomorrow's show is going to be kind of the preparation to that show, right? And the show is called, you ready? Sand or No Sand.
Ooh, that sounds. I mean, honestly, that right there is titillating. Just hearing that makes me want to get the. I already want to know the beans. Give us some beans.
So,
Little beans.
so it is going to be almost like a TV show host, me, right? And we're gonna pick someone from the chat once the show is done, and they're going to basically be on a deal or no deal sandbox version where they can win real sand.
No way. Oh my goodness. That sounds like so much fun. Not only fun for the person, but fun for the community watching, and very community inclusive. That is a great idea. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. So make sure you guys tune in to that. The reason I wanted to kind of segue into, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow so we can show you guys what we're gonna do, how we're gonna do it, and hopefully within a week or two. I'm not exactly sure uh, when we're going to be doing it, but make sure you come to the chat and the stream that day so you can be part of the show and earn some real sand.
Heck yes. I'll say I look forward to that. And I'll be there, my friend, and we'll make sure that everyone gets in. We get word spread about that because no one's going to want to miss that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and I'm gonna make a poster like this, like the guy, and Deal No Deal, and just make a nice sand background.
I love it. Can I ask you real quick too? Is the
Yeah,
questions, are they going to be like sandbox related then, I'd imagine? Or
there's literally no questions. It's just gonna be like a number of cases, and the audience is gonna pick a case, and well, not the audience, right? But it's going to be the specific individual, right? There, maybe we can even get them on Discord if they wanted to, but so they're gonna pick the cases, and it's kind of like Deal or No Deal, where the last person, the last case, they're stuck with one case, they can swap it or not, and whatever's inside that case, obviously the cases will be randomized, and it will be an experience inside the sandbox.
and an
So
experience. Oh, That sounds
Yeah,
epic.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be pretty cool. Even I won't know what's inside which case, so it's gonna be pretty interesting.
Although you might have an issue, as you can see, Ozcom, yeah, he stole the key, man. Love it.
No cases on the plot anymore. Alrighty, King. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you coming to the show today. I look forward to seeing how much progress you'll be doing before Alpha 3. And good luck on everything, bro.
Thank you very much. Again, I really appreciate you for having me on, spending the time today. Thank you very much, Slaterade and Ozcom and the team at SandStorm. I really appreciate it. Everybody, have some fun with the game. Let me know if there's any issues. Welcome to the Kingdom of Sakaar.
Let's go. Alrighty, guys. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Thank you so much again. Have a good day. Thank you for watching. Ciao.